Right now on 10 News at 11.
A father kills his wife and 3 of their children in cold blood, then takes his own life. Now his friends and family are speaking to us for the first time. Their comment that left our reporters speechless.
A woman trapped underneath a car after being hit in the middle of the road.
I was yelling for one guy to get the jack and another guy to get the jack stand.
The desperate rush to try and save her.
Weight loss has always been something that's a struggle.
The technology you swallow like a pill, helping some lose weight without surgery. How the new tool works and what doctors are saying about its safety.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
A husband, a father, and in the eyes of the law, now a cold-blooded killer. Tonight, family and friends of the man who murdered his wife and 3 of their little boys are talking for the first time since the horror of this weekend.
10 News reporter Laura Acevedo is live outside the house where it happened in Paradise Hills, and they have a far different portrayal of Jose Valdivia. Laura.
Steve and Kimberly, they told us they wanted to talk but did not want to show their faces on camera, only allowing us to record their voices. They say they have no idea Jose Valdivia had a weapon, and had they known things were so bad with his estranged wife, they say they would have stepped in.
We do not agree with what he did, but as family and friends, and we love him.
Gathered at their home in El Cajon, Jose Valdivia's family and friends spoke for the first time since police say he murdered his estranged wife Sabrina Rosario and 3 of their kids. Their 9-year-old son, also shot, is on life support.
Obviously, the situation is very horrible, really unexpected from Jose.
Valdivia's brother and 2 friends did not want to show their face on camera, but say this is not the person they knew. His friend, Gavino Pinal, did most of the talking.
He was a loving dad. He easily could have won, before this incident, he easily could have won Father of the Year a couple years, honestly, in my opinion. He always took care of his kids. His family came first. He did the best he can to try to do things right.
So how do you respond, though, to the people that might not care that he was like a Father of the Year?
The same way you do. Whenever you get criticized, what do? You brush off your shoulder? Who cares? You know better. You know right. We're adults. It's not the truth.
The family had pictures, candles, and flowers set up of Sabrina and the children, ages 3, 5, 9, and 11, with their father accused of shooting them all. His brother, Raul Perez.
So for him to do that, it hurt us deep down, hurt everybody. Because I didn't lose just only my brother, I lost my nephews and lost a sister.
Valdivia's mother was there during our interview. She did not want to speak on camera, but she did express her condolences to Sabrina's family, apologizing for what happened. Reporting live in Paradise Hills, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. Sabrina Rosario tried to protect her kids by filing a restraining order against Valdivia 1 day before the shooting. In the restraining order, Rosario outlines months of harassment by her estranged husband. She explains that the 2 were going through a divorce, and the text messages, phone calls, and unwanted visits wouldn't stop. In one instance, just weeks ago, Valdivia sent this message with a photo of a handgun, alcohol, and the words, "It's sure happening." Well, in the documents, Rosario sums up her fears, saying, quote, "I'm requesting this restraining order because I'm afraid that with respondents' dependency on alcohol, harassment, and threatening behavior, he will hurt me or my family."
Resources are available to victims of domestic violence who fear their situation could turn life-threatening. YWCA offers emergency housing. The San Diego Family Justice Center can help if one decides to file a restraining order. It is important to note a restraining order does not become active until the abuser is served. If you or someone you know is in a domestic violence situation, there's a full list of resources on our website, 10news.com.
New details tonight on the desperate attempts to save a woman trapped under a car in Talmadge. She was hit while crossing the street in the 4600 block of El Cajon Boulevard just after 5 o'clock this evening. 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena is there live where she spoke to the Good Samaritan who helped lift that car off the woman. Lindsay?
Yeah, that's right, Kim. That woman unfortunately died from her injuries tonight, but the people at this auto body shop right here stepped in to help her as she was lying in the middle of the street doing what they could when they could. An SUV sat in the middle of El Cajon Boulevard Monday night. The street closed off to traffic while police gathered evidence of what happened.
Everybody's on their way home, and it's dark now. It's an hour earlier, and you know the deal.
Brian Pusey was in his auto body shop just after 5 o'clock when he heard people yelling that someone was trapped under a car.
When I looked under there, and I just, oh my God, I thought.
San Diego police say a woman in her 60s was trying to cross El Cajon Boulevard, but not in the crosswalk. Pusey says he knew he had to get the weight off of her and knew exactly how to do it.
I ended up jacking it up on the suspension, which I wasn't crazy about doing because it can slip, but I needed to get the pressure off.
Even though he managed to get the car up, he says the woman still wasn't moving. Police and firefighters arrived within minutes and she was rushed to the hospital.
I feel awful for the lady, you know. It's just it's a terrible thing, you know.
Despite everyone's efforts, the woman unfortunately died from her injuries.
All I could think about is if I was stuck under something like that, I'd want somebody, you know, trying to help or whatever.
Now, San Diego police tell us that the driver in this case did stay and is cooperating with this investigation. We're reporting live in Talmadge. Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Lindsay, thank you. We turn now to our weather. Our meteorologist, Angelica Campos, is here tracking rain that could come as early as tomorrow. We all need that.
That's right. We need rain. For the month of November, we need an inch of rain, and we could easily get more than that. There's going to be a couple of days of rainfall, 2 systems, one to the north, one to the south. The first to the south is the one that's going to bring tropical moisture, and it'll help because after going from Santa Ana winds, we really need to add moisture to the environment. The chance is going to be much better for the evening time, but it could begin as early as 3 o'clock, most likely for the South Bay with the best chance, and then making its way north as we go into Wednesday, becoming more widespread. Coming up, I'll pinpoint how much is on the way.
Angelica, thank you. You can get all the weather updates on our 10 News mobile app. There is a free version available in the App Store. Just search 10 News.
Happening right now, the 5 North is shut down until 5 a.m. so crews can pour concrete to form the new deck for the Trolley Freeway overcrossing. This is a live look from our 10 News breaking news tracker. The closure extends from the 52 to La Jolla Village Drive. Several of the southbound lanes will be closed as well. The Mid-Coast Trolley project will extend the blue line from downtown to UC San Diego and the University City community. It's scheduled to open in 2021.
Starting tomorrow, 8 more witnesses will publicly testify in the next round of the hearings of the House impeachment inquiry. These include EU Ambassador Gordon Sondland. Last Friday, a State Department staffer testified he overheard a phone call with Sondland and President Trump a day after the infamous Ukraine call. Sondland admits to having had direct contact with Trump regarding Ukraine.
Mr. Sondland has to decide whether his primary loyalty is to America or whether his primary loyalty is to the President of the United States.
Former National Security Council official Tim Morrison is set to testify tomorrow. He has already testified that he saw nothing wrong with the July 25th call backing the president's account. Meantime, the president suggested on Twitter he would be open to testifying. You can watch the impeachment hearings live on ABC 10 starting tomorrow at 6 in the morning. That is right after 10 News at 5 a.m.
San Diego developer Doug Manchester says he has pulled his nomination to become ambassador to the Bahamas. President Trump nominated him back in 2017, and now a series of emails shows that Manchester may have implied that he or his family would make contributions to the Republican National Committee if he got the position. RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel emailed Manchester asking for a $500,000 donation. Manchester replied, quote, "As you know, I am not supposed to do any, but my wife is sending a contribution for $100,000, assuming I get out of the Foreign Relations Committee on Wednesday to the floor. We need you to have the majority leader bring it to a majority vote. Once confirmed, our family will respond."
The first part of what of his quote should have stopped there. I cannot contribute because I'm here, period. The minute he says after the fact, then there's a problem.
And a spokeswoman for Manchester says there was absolutely no pay for play. It started with a broom and a dedication to a city park. And now community members are trying to help lift a man from the verge of homelessness. It's a story that's positively San Diego. And 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is in Faneuil Park in Pacific Beach, where this man has made it his mission to keep it clean for years.
Well, regulars at this park know him and say he's a very special man. Now, oddly enough, he tells me he first started coming to Faneuil Park when he was homeless, only because he heard it had the cleanest restrooms. But from there, it snowballed into a very unique bond with the community.
It's a great place, this park. It's got a real positive energy.
If what goes around comes around,
I missed some dust over here, so I gotta go back over here, man.
Then many will tell you.
So you can see here, like, I'm just gonna sweep this up.
Good things are coming to this guy. Matthew Israel Christian and his broom are a fixture at Faneuil Park.
I'd come down here walking my dog and say hi, and he'd be sweeping. And this park looks great because of Matthew's hard work.
It's work he's not paid to do. He started doing it years ago when he was sleeping on the streets.
I was at the park one day trying to find work, and I saw the park was kind of dusty looking, and I went over to the V Outlet dollar store, bought a broom for $5, started sweeping.
His good deed rewarded with kindness. About 3 years ago, someone he met through the park gave him a place to stay.
Actually very surprised that people are generous.
And generosity keeps pouring in. Community members have started a GoFundMe for Matthew, hoping to raise enough money to hopefully help him get his own home.
So I really appreciate it. You know, it helped tremendously with food, with clothes.
And also to help buy more brooms and rakes.
I say 70% of the brooms and rakes I pay for, and 30% are mostly parents, people that donate.
Because no matter what happens, Matthew says he's not going to quit when people are counting on him.
I'm blessed, and it's a privilege, honor to volunteer here.
A very humble guy there. Now, we do have a link to that GoFundMe page on our website, 10news.com. We're reporting live in Pacific Beach. Anthony Pura, 10 News.